What's up, everybody? Christian James here. Today's second video. This crazy woman's on the Whatever podcast in the second clip I've seen. She was great in the first one. Let's watch her in the second one. This one is called Single Mom Gets Triggered and Proves Andrew's Point. I don't know. Let's go.
That was like such a huge thing that I regret. Like, you know, that's one of my regrets in life is just not submitting to that and letting go, because that could have been someone that I could have had an amazing relationship and marriage with, you know, and like...
That was feminism poisoning your mind.
No.
It's facts! It's facts! It's in our facts. These sites is in our facts. It's in our facts.
No, 100%. Like, it was like,
It just sounds though that Corey is a little bit of a different situation. He's a brother.
And
you have
he
to
can
think
be
of him
amazing.
Like a brother.
He could be amazing.
But this is what
my
women
friend
do,
was
right?
amazing
This is what women
too.
do. They'll listen to this, and when they see another woman faltering, going, you know what? Actually, this makes a lot of sense, and it could lead to an inroad to happiness. They sabotage it.
It's
And
self-sabotage.
they sabotage it as quickly as they possibly can for other women. I don't know why they do this,
but that's the
well, actually,
toxic
I do. I
side
think
of
it has
that.
to do with mate
That's
selection,
the toxic side. There's also a healthy side where you do need to evaluate, what are my anchor relationships? I would call Corey an anchor relationship, a ride or die. He could be a biological brother. He's a different category than just somebody I've known for 10 years, and he's not adding that much in my life, and I'm going to pick
It's
this
not for you to make
husband.
the determination in a committed relationship.
Shut up, bitch! Oh my God!
Stan, I'm just simply saying it's not as black and white of an issue as it's trying
I think
to
it is.
be posed.
This is the problem. A lot of ladies will keep manipulating their own thought process to turn their own thoughts around on themselves. Like Corey, the guy she's referring to, that she should have submitted to, is like a brother. You were to submit to your brother. Like, they take this terminology of like, oh, he could have been closer than he was. He could have been my brother because we were so... To men, I'm certain to certain women out there, this sounds just like absolute lunacy, right? I've been friends with exes in the past. Clearly not now. I'm a grown man. But when you're in your early 20s, when you're young, when you're immature, you stay friends with exes because you don't, and in the comment section, tell me if you agree, you don't know how to let someone go that was so important to you momentarily in your life. Right? It's like when you're a kid finding out Santa isn't real for some kids. It's like panic, Santa's not real, and they deal with it. First breakup, second breakup, early breakups. Some people get so overly invested in them so quickly that when that person goes away, it's this traumatic event. Meanwhile, you've been dating for 3 weeks. Ah.
I think that if on the one hand you say, I want to have a man who's worth submitting to, I think that man is going to be somebody who you consider high virtue, and not only high virtue, but is going to take care of all sorts of problems you don't even see. You don't even want to worry about it. He doesn't want to fucking worry about you either. He doesn't want to worry about shit. He doesn't want to worry about fucking Corey. He doesn't want to worry about your relationship with he doesn't want to worry about shit. And you know how you can give him that great peace of mind? By not doing it. And that's the ultimate sign of respect. And you know that type of man who you show that kind of respect to will do anything.
You know,
Andrew's 1,000 million trillion billion % correct. I've dated a lot of women in life.
Stop the cap! Stop the cap right now!
Some women claim to be submissive. Some women act submissive in the beginning, and then the girl I'm with now was very submissive. And look, the thing is with her, I don't have to worry about anything. Other exes in the past, I had to worry about jealousy. I had to worry about you're at work too long, you're doing this too long. Why aren't we spending more time together? Even though you told me initially that you went to the gym this much, that you worked this much, that you did this much, yada yada yada. Well, I don't have to worry about anything. She had one male friend we started dating, and she just got annoyed with him, but he was gay. Like, ooh, fat gay Jimmy. I'm out.
Stop it! Cut it out!
I'm not worried about him, right? She has brothers, but look. The other day, men don't want anything to worry about. And I know some lady out there who's watching is like, you don't have to worry about him if you're not insecure. It's not that. Okay, let me explain this to you in very simple terms. If I go fishing, I'm not worried about another man trying to steal my fish, even if he's fishing in the same pond. If we're fishing in the same fucking puddle, then I have a problem. Men and women aren't friends. I'm a male. I don't have any female friends. I had someone I was a little bit younger, but we were friends since we were like 7 or 8.
Well, I'd love to stay and chat, but you're a total bitch.
So it predated puberty. So we were friends since we were little kids, which when you're little kids, you know what I mean? It's way different than when you've grown in any way, any puberty whatsoever. But other than that, like, boys and girls are not friends. Males are friends, females are friends. Males are friends with females that they haven't fucked yet or they want to get back. And females are friends with males that they can't date, but they can only smash.
It's facts! It's facts! It's in our facts. These sites is in our facts. It's in our facts.
Tell me I'm wrong.
What if he can make her happy by being best friends with Corey?
Yeah, exactly.
Or
Because
being
Andrew,
boys
wouldn't
with
you want to be
Corey?
friends with
It's
the guy
not
and
about
feel
her
him
happy.
out?
No offense, but you are a stupid asshole.
See, this is the
No, but,
disconnect. It's not
regardless-
about her
regardless of her,
happiness.
then.
It's about
Regardless
what
of
is
her.
submission. In the cardinal, when we're looking at this, we're looking at what is the dynamic between men and women which works best. What is the dynamic for family that works best? Here's the dynamic in family that works best. Proven over and over and over again. So if you think about tradition, think of it in these terms. Experiments which worked. That's tradition. So here, the family unit of a mom and a dad and children works better than anything else. The
But what do you
outcomes
mean by
for these-
works better? In an economic
I mean
sense?
that
How does it
all
work better?
all outcomes for the man, woman, and children, if they stay together in an intact family, are universally better than any other single dynamic we've ever seen.
Yeah,
Universally better the outcome.
Well, just because
Yeah.
it's better than the other shit show doesn't mean it's optimal. It still doesn't mean that it's heaven.
Well,
If y'all didn't see my last video with this lady, she's divorced. She divorced her husband after 10 years, been essentially a single hooker for the last 5. Of course, it's not heaven. It's not perfect. I assume heaven is perfect, right? Like the idea. So if you're religious, stick with me with this heaven concept. We'll come back to the crazy blonde in a minute. Heaven is where you go when you die if you're a good person and you believe in God, right? We're just going to go by Christianity at this time because I'm not focusing on the other major religions or subpar religions or tiny religions, whatever. Now, let's say you go to heaven because you've made it, and every fucking person from high school you couldn't stand that was a good person is there. But all the people you enjoyed on earth aren't there because they made one slip up. They missed, they missed fucking Sunday communion, right? They didn't get baptized. They might have worked with children. They might have been doctors. They might have been great people, but because they didn't do one thing in the book, they didn't get anything. Like, that's even a problem with perfection, right? Perfection is great until you think on it. Her idea of a marriage being perfect, like my marriage with my girlfriend is not perfect. Like, we have ups, we have downs. Okay, she bought me, here we go, story time. She bought me a donut maker, all right? I love making donuts. I love eating donuts. That's the reason I work out so much, is I just like eating food. And I made old-fashioned donuts, like, the kinds that you would fry in a non-frying donut maker. It just, like, kind of shuts on itself like a waffle maker or a George Foreman grill. The look on her face was like, this giant, dumb motherfucker made the wrong donut, all because he just wanted to see if it would work. The dogs liked it. The kids liked it. It was okay to me. She didn't like it. But the look on her face, you know what I mean? I'm not mad. She's like, God damn, I'm buying this fancy-ass thing. I buy all the right stuff, and he does it his fucking way. She wasn't happy. But when I literally did to her what I did to you guys right now, like this giant motherfucker doing all this dumb stuff, she laughed. Relationships aren't perfect. The person you're with, they're not a thought process. They're their own individual person. And yet, at the end of the day, submission is important, but submission doesn't mean you're being submitted like in an MMA fight, or I got like my fist on the back of your neck, and if you don't do it, that's not how this works. It's just submission because at the end of the day, men, actual men, not all males, make the world's best leaders. I've heard this from women, and I've heard it from men. The worst boss most people have ever had was a female.
Unless you can give a counter to any family dynamic that works better than the nuclear cross-generational family, then you have no leg to stand on. And so here's what I'm going to do. Tell me a family dynamic which is better than a nuclear or cross-generational family. Just give me one.
I think a more tribal society, to be honest with you, is a better structure because that way if a man dies, if he goes through a mental break or something and he's no longer stable, that woman has a social structure of brothers, uncles, aunt, whatever, best friends who
They
just
still have that
swoop right
social
in.
structure.
And guess what? Those kids have already gotten used to Uncle Corey and blah, blah, blah.
They
So
still already have that social structure with the people who matter the most, their blood.
okay,
Their bloodline.
But
The
guess what?
bloodline
When
is
you have a
way more
woman
likely
like
to
me,
step in and take
I
care of
have
your
no
kids
blood.
than Corey is.
I have no blood men in my life who are healthy by any means. Hence why I've had a stream of not the best relationships, because my dad was
You're proving
abusive.
his point.
The point, the
well,
point
actually,
would
you're
be is
making
for
my
a
point
woman
for
like me,
Hang
it
on,
would be
hang
more
on. You're making
safe.
my point for me. You're saying inside of your own life, absent this intact family unit, you had worse outcomes. That's my whole point.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I had an intact family unit with very abusive people.
Which led to...
Well, wait, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm going to check my notes here. Did you say that your parents are still married?
No, they're not still married. But
And
I
when did they get
came
divorced?
my biological parents never got married. My mother, when I was 3,
Then
married my
what are
stepdad.
you talking about?
You're proving his point, girl.
You're proving my point.
You said that you
Over and
have
over
had so
again.
many broken relationships or men that were unhealthy, and it's because your family structure was broken as well.
Your family
No, what
structure
I'm
was
saying
broken.
is I came from as much of a traditional structure as
That's not
you
traditional.
can.
It's
There's a
not.
mom
That's in no
and there's
way
a mom.
traditional.
There's a mom. There's a dad.
Well, yeah,
there's
but
two
there's
kids.
biologically there has to be a
Love
mom
each
and
other
dad. We're
unconditionally.
talking about a traditional...
But
Hang on, guys, one at a time,
unconditional
one at a
love
time.
wouldn't
What are we
have
saying?
all these rules of we can't be friends with Corey. That's not unconditional love.
All right, for all you wackadoodles and women out there, unconditional love doesn't exist. And you can say it does if you have children, or the idea of you having children. Now imagine one of your children is Jeffrey Dahmer. Imagine one of your children is Hitler, is Mao, is Stalin. If you're a Trump hater, imagine it's Trump. Right? Just imagine these things. It's not a thing where you just have this undying, unequivocal, never give up love. Love is something you feel for someone that's close to you, that you have a connection with, often that's biologically related to you. That doesn't mean you can't stop loving them. Right? Look, like I said, I made some extreme cases. I know plenty of situations where the father, the son, the mother, the daughter, the mother, the son, the father, the daughter, they don't like each other as human beings. You can see it, right? As kids, I'm sure there was some love there, and there probably was, but as adults, there's nothing but animosity because they're just different people. Not all parents instinctively love their children through their whole lives because you don't always stay as a child. You feel me? You understand what I'm saying? You might just be their child, but you're not always a child. So her idea of like love that never dies, undying love, right? That's not a thing. As of the example I gave in the first place, I'm pretty sure those people's moms, if they're aware of the atrocity committed, didn't love them anymore because they were horrible human beings. Essentially, they were walking devils.
Hang on, I hate to break it to you, but the truth is that what you've done here is you have demonstrated very well my point, which is from broken homes
In a
come
perfect
broken
world.
minds.
In a perfect world, if a man met all of my needs and he was the most healthy, godly man, and he went to God every moment of every day and made sure that he was fact-checking himself, and he had pastors or leaders or ministers, grandpas who were healthy men, and he was every choice he was gonna make, he went and hashed it out with God and his elders, and then he came and stepped it to me and said, you know what, I know that Corey's your friend, but I'm just getting a little vibe there.
Right.
Everybody knows you never go full retard.
Oh,
So
can
what
we
you're
talk
saying-
about
but
this?
I want you
And
to
then he
understand,
brings the wisdom. It's not just he's
Yeah,
coming to
hang on,
her
one
and
point at a
saying,
time.
it's
Hang
not
on, one
just
point
he's
at a
coming
time,
and
one
saying you
point at a
can't be
time.
friends with him.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay, but one
I
point
just
at
made
a
it
time.
up.
Hang on, before you go on a diatribe, just like let's do an exchange, a good faith exchange, just kind of one point at a time. The point one that you're talking about here, again, makes my point for me. So you say, listen, me. If a man will do X for me, if also me, and then on top of that, a little bit more me with a sprinkle of me, with a dash of me, with a cherry on top of me, then I will submit.
Well,
That's
at the
not
end of the
submission.
day, I'm
And so
all
what
I
happens
have.
is, hang on, let me finish. So then what happens is you split off from what you consider traditionalism, because that's not traditionalism.
I'm not
Traditional
traditional.
submission should, yeah, I know, but that's my point again. You're not traditional, and the experiment of your broken family
Listen.
is...
Here, ladies and gentlemen, you see a person who thinks they're intelligent, who can't follow the conversation, so is making up their own conversation to go along so they don't, well, it's not that they don't feel stupid. They really don't understand. She don't understand what's happening. Like, if you're following along, it's not hard to figure out exactly what's happening in this video when Andrew's talking to her. You come from a broken home. You come from a non-traditional home, and you're non-traditional to the point where you're a hooker, right? Like the idea like this man should go talk to God and do all these things, and then come to me and say, I don't want you to be friends with Corey. Bitch, I don't want you to be friends with Corey because I know fucking Corey. Because Corey's the fucking man, and all he wants to do is, come on.
System where traditional works perfectly fine and it's beautiful. Not all of us come from that blessing.
That's his point.
That's because
And
you're
so, no, but I'm
self-centered.
saying I literally do not live in a safe environment.
Well, it's not going to be safe if the entire environment has to revolve around me.
Well, guess what?
about
Like I
them?
said, I'm a mother. I can't go down. I have had men come in my life and promise me the world. They're going to take care of the kids. They're going to pay the bills. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. Here's a marriage. Here's a ring. Here's a ceremony, blah, blah, blah. And then I get into it.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now.
And I agree to all of that. And then
Yeah.
shit goes really
But
bad.
I'm going to tell you the truth, and this is not a fun truth, but it is the truth. Stepfather myself. Okay, I have stepchildren myself. The truth of the matter is that unless you as a woman, if you have children especially with another man, and you're asking a man to share his resources, take care of those children, submission becomes 10 times more important.
for real.
Because what value are you bringing to the table for them?
Andrew's correct. I'm a stepfather. 2 stepkids, 2 of my own kids. Look, and I know a lot of people out there, especially men, are like, I don't want to raise another person's kids. Okay, let's look at it from this perspective before I talk on what Andrew said. If good men don't raise the son of absent or shitty men, do we not run out of good men? It's that simple. It's like being the coach of a softball team. It's like being the coach of fucking, what are they, Boy Scouts, right? Whatever they're called. Shit like that. You're trying to improve the outcome of young men's lives to make their life better so men keep going in the right direction and we keep getting better. At least we don't get fucking worse. But it's 100%, like at the end of the day, I don't have any biological attachment to them. But she's very submissive to what I say because she's been on the opposite end of a abusive, controlling, not submissive, controlling asshole. Where I'm not controlling. You can do whatever you want. But if I say you're not doing it because I know it's unsafe and where you're going and who you're going, you're not doing it. But other than that, you can do whatever you want. I don't give a shit. But at the end of the day, there's a giant difference between submission and controlling. But if you've never experienced the difference, you wouldn't know. But as far as what Andrew says, it's 100% correct. If you're going to ask another man to raise your kids, here's something my mom did to my stepdad. I only had one ever, then he left after 4 years. He tried to punish me a few times, like ground me, or, like, how dare you, rah, rah. And she would just, don't talk to my kid that way. Well, what's he in it for then? Like, why are you dating him? If he's not going to help you raise your son, and you're a woman, you have no idea how to raise a boy, what is he there for? Buy shit, be in the photos, but have actually no say or engagement?
What value do you actually
I
bring to the
cook,
table
I
for a
clean,
man?
I f really well, I suck really well,
maid and a
I
hooker.
get the
A maid
bills
and a
paid,
hooker.
I
Anyone
take
can do
care of the
that.
kids.
Anyone
Anybody
can do
can
that.
do that.
No, that's not true. I'm out here
Yeah,
in
it
the
is true.
I'm out
Do you
here
think
as
that-
an
do you think that women with no
Prostitutes
children
can do
can't
that way
do it
better
or
than you,
what?
probably.
no,
You
honey,
think that
trust
women
me, I
without
teach the
children are
girls how to do
incapable
it.
of
I'm
having
a
sex? Listen, do you think that it's really that difficult to satiate a man's sexual needs?
But
'Cause
guess
for
what?
the most
A lot
part,
of these women
a-
have so many traumas, they can't even get there. They're scared of dicks. I'm talking real talk here. I'm out in the field.
You don't believe
I'm
your
There's 4.5 billion women. We'll figure it out, fellas. Don't worry about the crazy ones.
talking real
you have
talk.
trauma?
I have had to heal through massive amounts of trauma.
But like even right now, you said like all I have is myself. When he was saying like me.
But
me.
that is
But hold
true.
on. But that is because you feel like all you have is yourself because you didn't have a mom and you didn't have that structure. You didn't have that support.
But
so you
guess
can't even
what?
you can't even hold on. You can't even accept a husband to help you carry the burden.
That's not true.
However, I've had my parents are married 50 years and they're happy. They have more sex than anyone I know.
I love that. Amen.
And I feel the same way.
as me. So, exactly, because we live in a particular society. Some of us just don't fit these cookie cutter molds of how it's
think
supposed to
any-
go.
As long as
probably
you two
a
are both
self-rooted
happy and
problem.
you both can make the relationship work the way you want it to
They
work.
don't work though. So here's the stats on polyamorous
parents make it work
relationships.
and they're pretty
95% of them fail. 95%.
How
of
many
poly
monogamous
fail.
relationships do you think
95.
are actually very happy? Just because people stay together, which is only, what, 1 and 2 stay
Not
together?
about happiness. You
How
know,
many are
those
happy?
You see, she's a child, right? I remember this John Lennon quote. My teacher asked me what I want to be when I grow up. I said happy. She said, you don't understand the question. I said, you don't understand life. That's a great answer for a child. But look, at the end of the day, relationships aren't about happiness. They're about companionship, which is a point of happiness for a lot of people. Who wants to die alone, who wants to be alone. But you think every day I see her, it's about, oh, I hope she makes me happy today. I hope I make her happy today. Look, we have to make each other happy. But happiness is not the thing. We're there for each other. We raise children. We go to work. We have a solid relationship. And yeah, neither one of us is miserable. You don't need 3, 4, 5 people in a relationship to have a good time. That's absurd. That's not a relationship. That's a meeting. That's an orgy.
I've been through hell, and at this point, I'm just here to have a good time.
So see, but you say that now, but when you're 80, and or maybe I'm not gonna say you, but a lot of people that think like you, they're gonna be 80 and alone, and they're
That's
gonna.
not true. They're
It
gonna
is
have
true.
their
My mom
kids there,
sees
their
all the
best
time.
there,
Statistics are
their
there.
friend with benefits. They might have a spouse. They might have 2 spouses. You guys are.
I know,
this
but
is-
you're saying that because your
relationships
mind is
can't
saying
be
of all this
fit. Relationships
realities, but
cannot
that's
be
not the
fit into
reality.
this.
A woman that has no relationships and a failed marriage is the one that's saying relationships don't fit in a box because you're not good at them because you can't keep them because no one wants to stay with you. Relationships are relationships. Friendships are friendships. They're always a certain thing. Human dynamics are human dynamics. She's not special. She's not changing the game on human dynamics. She wants to be special. That's why she keeps talking this way. She's just very narcissistic if you haven't figured it out.
Let her give her point to the
You
Gallivan
guys,
Center.
this
Go ahead
is
first.
one Western
Hang on, not you. You're not the Gallivan
religious
Center.
way
The
of
Gallivan
looking
Center.
Shut up, bitch! Oh my God!
Let her give her point. You can respond. I promise. Go ahead.
No, all I'm saying is that you can think of all these realities in your head, like, oh, well, that could happen, but that's not reality of what really happens.
Do you
if you're
know
looking
how
at
we were
it.
designed?
Let her finish her point. Hang on. Go ahead.
Keep going. Just go.
Okay,
Speak.
All right, so yeah, so you're saying all these things, but the reality is, even like if you look at the statistics, feminists that are they're alone and they're on medications, antidepressants, like they hate.
There's so many variables that go into this. You can't say it's because
I'm not
of this
saying
one.
it's just
go look
because.
at other societies that aren't running
Hold
this
on, can I finish my point though?
colonialization.
What is 2 plus 2?
Yeah, let's start there because if we're not at that same
On a framework, we're all
Answer, answer what is 2 plus 2?
2 plus 2 what?
In math.
But 2
Nah, I'm just kidding you. I thought it'd be funny if you thought I was fucking retarded.
So, ladies and gentlemen, she wants to be special. She's not special. 2 plus 2 is fucking 2. Or if you want to combine it, it's 22. If you have 2 apples and 2 apples, you have fucking 4 apples. At no point does 2 and 2 not make 2. It doesn't. Oh, sorry. At no point in life does 2 and 2 not make 4. That's how it works. Math isn't racist. Math isn't prejudice. Math isn't sexist. Some people are stupid. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you don't think. Tell me if you think submission is a good thing in a relationship. Tell me if you think we need to go back to the old school. Well, we're in charge. You do what you're told, and the children go to bed by 9 p.m. I'm out.